Welcome back to the English Podcast Classroom. I'm Mia, and I'm so excited to be here with you today.
And I'm Henry. Hi, Mia. Hi, everyone listening. How are you all doing today?
You know what, Henry? Before we even start today's lesson, I have to tell you, I looked outside this morning and it was absolutely gorgeous. Blue sky, sunshine, perfect temperature, and now it's raining.
Classic. You know what they say, if you don't like the weather, just wait 5 minutes.
Exactly. And speaking of weather, that's actually our topic today. We're going to talk all about the weather in English.
That's right. Now, some of you might be thinking, the weather? Really? That sounds kind of boring. But here's the thing. Talking about the weather is probably one of the most useful skills you can learn in English.
Oh, absolutely. Think about it. When you meet someone for the first time, what do you talk about? The weather. When you're waiting for the elevator with a colleague, the weather. When you don't know what else to say, the weather.
It's like the universal conversation starter. In English-speaking countries, especially places like the UK, talking about the weather is practically a national sport.
That's so true. I remember when I first started learning English, I thought weather conversations were just boring small talk. But then I realized they're actually really important for building connections with people.
Exactly. And here's another reason why learning weather vocabulary is so useful. Weather affects everything we do. It affects our plans, our mood, what we wear, where we go. So being able to talk about it naturally is super important.
Plus, weather expressions come up everywhere. In songs, in movies, in books, in casual conversations. If you want to sound more natural and confident in English, you need to know how to talk about the weather.
So today, we're going to teach you everything you need to know. We'll cover basic weather vocabulary, how to have natural conversations about the weather, idioms and expressions, and so much more.
And don't worry, we're going to keep this fun and practical. No boring grammar lectures here. Just friendly, natural English that you can use right away.
Before we dive in, let me just ask you something, Mia. What's your favorite kind of weather?
Ooh, good question. I love sunny days, but not too hot, like 22 or 23 degrees Celsius. That's perfect for me. Just warm enough to wear a light dress or a t-shirt, but not so hot that you're sweating all the time.
Nice. I'm actually the opposite. I love cold weather. Give me a crisp autumn day with colorful leaves falling, or even a snowy winter day. There's something so peaceful about it.
Really? You like the cold? I start shivering when it drops below 15 degrees.
See, this is exactly what we're talking about. These are the kinds of natural conversations people have about weather all the time. And by the end of today's episode, you'll be able to join in confidently.
So, whether you're listening to us on a sunny morning, a rainy afternoon, or a cozy evening, we're so glad you're here.
We're going to break this episode down into different sections. First, we'll start with everyday weather conversations, the basic stuff you need to know. Then we'll talk about seasons, weather around the world, fun idioms and expressions, and even how weather affects our emotions.
It's going to be a journey. So grab your favorite drink, get comfortable, and let's get started.
But before we do, let me just say, if you're enjoying this podcast, please don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Hit that bell icon so you never miss an episode.
And feel free to leave us a comment. Tell us what's the weather like where you are right now. We'd love to know.
All right, Mia, are you ready?
Ready? Let's talk about the weather.
Okay, so let's start with the basics. When we talk about weather in English, there are some key words and phrases you absolutely need to know. Mia, what's the most common way to start a weather conversation?
Good question. Usually people start with something super simple, like, how's the weather today? Or what's the weather like?
Exactly. And the answer is usually pretty straightforward. You might say it's sunny, it's rainy, it's cloudy, or it's windy.
Let me give you an example. Imagine you're talking to your neighbor in the morning. It might sound like this.
Morning. How's the weather looking today?
Morning. It's beautiful, really sunny and warm. Perfect day for a walk.
Nice. We haven't had weather this nice in weeks.
See how natural that sounds? It's friendly, simple, and easy. Let's break down some of those basic weather words we just used.
Right. So sunny means the sun is shining. There are no clouds or very few clouds, and it's bright outside. You might also hear people say it's a beautiful day or it's gorgeous out.
Then we have rainy, which means it's raining, of course, but there are different ways to talk about rain. If it's raining lightly, you can say it's drizzling or there's a light rain.
And if it's raining heavily, we have some great expressions. You can say it's pouring, which means it's raining very hard, or you can say it's raining cats and dogs.
Raining cats and dogs is such a funny expression. Nobody really knows where it comes from, but everyone uses it. It just means it's raining really, really hard.
Here's another one, cloudy. This means the sky's covered with clouds. You might not see the sun at all. You could say it's cloudy today or the sky is overcast, which means the same thing.
Overcast is a great word. It sounds more formal, but it's very useful. And then we have windy. This one's pretty obvious. It means there's a lot of wind out. The air is moving strongly.
You might say it's really windy out there, or hold on to your hat, it's windy. People often complain about wind because it messes up their hair or makes it hard to walk.
That's so true. Okay, let's talk about temperature. How do we describe if it's hot or cold?
Great point. For hot weather, you can say it's hot, it's warm, it's boiling, or even it's scorching. Boiling and scorching are informal ways to say it's extremely hot.
And for cold weather, you can say it's cold, it's chilly, it's freezing, or it's icy. Chilly means it's a little cold, not terribly cold, just a bit uncomfortable. Freezing means it's extremely cold.
Here's a fun dialogue. Let's imagine two friends meeting on a cold morning.
Hey, good morning.
Morning. Wow, it's freezing out here. Did you forget your jacket?
I know. I thought it would be warmer. I'm absolutely freezing.
You should have checked the forecast. They said it would be cold today.
Okay, stop. Let's pause there. Did you hear that word, forecast? That's super important.
Yes, the forecast or the weather forecast is the prediction of what the weather will be like. You can check the forecast on your phone, on TV, or online. You might ask someone, what's the forecast for tomorrow? Or did you check the forecast?
And here's another useful phrase. What's it like outside? This is a casual way to ask about the weather. Someone might answer, it's gorgeous, or it's miserable, or it's not too bad.
Miserable is a great word for bad weather. If the weather is rainy, cold, and gray, you might say, the weather's miserable today.
Let's practice another conversation. Henry, imagine you're calling me to make plans for the weekend.
Sounds good. Hey, Mia, I was thinking we could go hiking this Saturday. What do you think?
Hiking sounds great, but did you check the forecast? I think it's supposed to rain.
Really? Let me look. Oh no, you're right. It says scattered showers throughout the day.
Maybe we should plan something indoors instead.
Good idea. How about we go to that new cafe downtown?
Perfect. Rain or shine, we'll have a good time.
Great example, Mia. Notice how we use the forecast to make plans? That's super realistic.
And did you hear scattered showers? That means there will be short periods of rain throughout the day, not constant rain. It's a common phrase in weather forecasts.
Another phrase from that dialogue is rain or shine. This is an idiom that means no matter what the weather is like. It shows that your plans won't change even if the weather is bad.
Let's talk about some more weather conditions. What about snow?
Ah, snow. If it's snowing, you can say it's snowing, of course, but you can also say we're having a snowstorm if it's snowing heavily, or there's a light dusting of snow if there's just a thin layer.
And snow creates interesting conditions. You might hear people say it's icy outside, meaning the ground is covered with ice and it's slippery. Or the roads are slippery. Or watch out, it's slick out there.
Good point. When it's icy or slippery, you have to walk carefully so you don't fall.
What about fog? That's another interesting weather condition.
Yes, fog is when there's thick cloud at ground level and you can't see very far. You might say, it's foggy this morning, or there's heavy fog on the highway. Fog can make driving dangerous because visibility is low.
And then there's humidity. When the air feels wet and sticky, we say it's humid. You might say, it's so humid today. I feel like I'm in a sauna.
Yes, high humidity makes hot days feel even worse. You might also hear it's muggy, which means the same thing, hot and humid.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of basic vocabulary. Let's do a quick review. Henry, what are some basic weather conditions?
We have sunny, rainy, cloudy, windy, snowy, foggy, and stormy. And for temperature, we have hot, warm, cool, cold, and freezing.
Perfect. And remember, when you're having a weather conversation, you don't need to use complicated sentences. Simple is best. Just say what you see and feel.
Absolutely. People appreciate simple, clear communication. Don't worry about sounding fancy, just be natural.
One more thing before we move on. When British people talk about weather, they often say things are lovely or dreadful. Americans might say things are nice or awful. These are just cultural differences, and they're both correct.
Great point. English is spoken all over the world, and there are different ways to express the same ideas. The important thing is to communicate clearly and naturally.
All right, so now you know the basics of everyday weather conversations. You know the key vocabulary, how to ask about the weather, and how to respond naturally.
In the next section, we're going to talk about something really fun, the seasons. We'll discuss how weather changes throughout the year and how to talk about your favorite season.
Stay with us.
Welcome back. Now let's talk about the seasons. This is one of my favorite topics because seasons affect so much of our lives.
Mine too. Seasons are amazing because they give us variety. The weather changes, nature changes, and even our activities change.
So let's start with the basics. In most English-speaking countries, there are 4 seasons: spring, summer, autumn, and winter. In American English, we usually say fall instead of autumn, but both words are correct.
Let's talk about each season, one by one. Henry, why don't you tell us about spring?
Sure. Spring is the season that comes after winter, usually from March to May in the Northern Hemisphere. Spring is all about new beginnings. The weather starts getting warmer, flowers start blooming, and trees grow new leaves.
I love spring. People often say spring is in the air when they notice the weather getting nicer. What's the weather like in spring?
Spring weather can be unpredictable. Some days are warm and sunny, but other days might be rainy or even cold. We often say, April showers bring May flowers, which means the rain in April helps flowers grow in May.
That's such a nice saying. In spring, you might hear people say things like, the weather's finally warming up, or I can't wait to spend more time outside.
Exactly. Spring is also associated with rain. It rains quite a bit in spring, which helps everything grow. You might need an umbrella or a raincoat during this season.
Okay, now let's talk about summer. That's my favorite season. Summer is usually from June to August in the Northern Hemisphere. It's the hottest season of the year.
Summer is great. The days are long, the weather is warm or hot, and people spend a lot of time outdoors. Kids have summer vacation from school, and many families go on holiday.
What are some typical summer activities?
Oh, so many. People go to the beach, have barbecues, go camping, swimming, hiking, pretty much anything outside. Summer is all about enjoying the sunshine.
And the weather in summer can vary. In some places, it's hot and dry. In other places, it's hot and humid. And in some areas, there are summer thunderstorms.
Right. You might hear people say, it's a scorcher today, which means it's extremely hot. Or, I'm melting when they're feeling too hot.
I say that all the time. I'm melting is such a funny, dramatic way to say you're hot.
People also talk a lot about the sun in summer. You might hear, the sun is so strong today, or make sure to wear sunscreen because when the sun is strong, you can get sunburned easily.
Good reminder. Okay, now let's talk about autumn, or fall, as Americans say. This is your favorite season, right, Henry?
It is. Autumn is usually from September to November in the Northern Hemisphere. It's the season when the weather starts cooling down after summer. The leaves on the trees change color. They turn red, orange, yellow, and brown. It's absolutely beautiful.
Autumn is gorgeous. The weather in autumn is usually mild, not too hot, not too cold. It's what we call crisp, cool and fresh, especially in the mornings.
Yes, crisp autumn air is a phrase you'll hear a lot. People love autumn because it's comfortable weather. You can wear a light jacket or a sweater, and it's perfect for outdoor activities.
What do people do in autumn?
Lots of things. People go apple picking, visit pumpkin patches, drink hot cider, and enjoy the colorful leaves. In the USA, there's Thanksgiving in autumn. In the UK and other countries, people prepare for the colder months ahead.
I love how autumn smells. There's something about the cool air and the leaves that just smells amazing.
Totally agree. You might hear people say, the leaves are turning, or the leaves are changing, which means the leaves are changing color. Or you might say, the leaves are falling, which happens later in the season.
All right, last season, winter. Winter is usually from December to February in the Northern Hemisphere. This is the coldest season of the year.
Winter weather varies a lot depending on where you live. In some places, it's cold and snowy. In other places, it's just cold and rainy. And in some warm countries, winter is actually quite mild.
What do people say about winter weather?
Oh, lots of things. If it's very cold, you might hear something like, "It's freezing out there," or "I can see my breath," which means it's so cold that when you breathe out, you can see the steam from your breath.
When it snows, people get excited. Kids especially love snow because they can build snowmen, have snowball fights, or go sledding. You might hear someone say, "It's snowing," or "We got 6 inches of snow last night."
And if there's a lot of snow, people might say, "We're snowed in," which means there's so much snow that you can't leave your house. Or, "The roads are closed due to snow."
Winter activities are so fun. People go skiing, snowboarding, ice skating, or just stay inside and drink hot chocolate by the fireplace.
Let's do a fun dialogue about seasons. Mia, I'll ask you about your favorite season, and we'll have a natural conversation.
Sounds good.
So, Mia, what's your favorite season, and why?
I'd have to say summer. I love the long days and the warm weather. There's something so cheerful about sunshine. What about you?
I'm definitely an autumn person. I love the cooler temperatures and the beautiful colors. Plus, autumn clothes are the best. Sweaters, boots, scarves.
That's true. Autumn fashion is great. But don't you find it a bit sad? The days get shorter and everything's getting ready for winter.
I can see that, but I find it peaceful. It's like nature is slowing down and taking a rest. What do you like to do in summer?
Oh, everything. I love going to the beach, having picnics in the park, eating ice cream, going for evening walks. Summer just makes me happy.
That's great. And what's your least favorite season?
Probably winter. I don't mind it for a few weeks, especially around the holidays, but after January, I'm ready for warmer weather. I get tired of being cold all the time.
Fair enough. I don't mind winter, but I do miss the sunshine by February.
Perfect. Notice how we talked about what we like and don't like about each season. This is a very common conversation topic.
Absolutely. Talking about favorite seasons is a great way to learn more about someone. It tells you about their personality and preferences.
Let's talk about some useful phrases for discussing seasons. If you want to ask someone about their favorite season, you can say, "What's your favorite season?" Or, "Which season do you like best?"
And when you're describing why you like a season, you can use phrases like, "I love summer because," or "Autumn is great for," or "What I enjoy most about spring is."
You can also talk about what you don't like. For example, "I'm not a fan of winter," or "Summer's too hot for me," or "Spring allergies drive me crazy."
Yes, spring allergies, that's when people are allergic to pollen from flowers and trees. Many people struggle with sneezing and itchy eyes in spring.
Another thing people talk about is how the seasons affect their mood and energy. You might hear someone say, I have so much energy in summer, or I feel more creative in autumn, or winter makes me want to hibernate.
Hibernate is a great word. It means to sleep through the winter, like bears do. When people say, I want to hibernate, they mean they want to stay home, stay warm, and rest.
Here's something interesting. Different cultures celebrate different things in each season. For example, in many Western countries, summer is vacation time. But in some Asian countries, there are important festivals in autumn.
That's a great point. Seasons mean different things to different people depending on where they live and their cultural background.
Let's do another quick dialogue. Imagine two colleagues talking about the changing seasons.
Great idea. I'll act as colleague 1. Can you believe how fast summer went by?
I know. It feels like just yesterday we were complaining about the heat. Now look, the leaves are already changing.
I'm actually looking forward to autumn. I love this time of year. The weather is perfect for hiking.
Me too. Though I'm not ready for the shorter days, it gets dark so early in autumn.
True. By November, it's dark by 5 o'clock. But at least we get cozy evenings at home.
That's one way to look at it. I'll probably start drinking way too much hot tea.
There's no such thing as too much hot tea.
See how natural that sounded? We talked about the transition between seasons, what we like about autumn, and even mentioned the shorter days.
Transitions between seasons are a common topic. You might hear people say, I can feel autumn in the air, or winter is just around the corner, or spring is finally here. These phrases show that people notice the changes in weather and nature. It's part of everyday conversation.
All right, so now you know how to talk about all 4 seasons, describe what you like and don't like about each one, and discuss seasonal activities.
Coming up next, we're going to talk about weather around the world. We'll discuss how weather differs in different countries and climates. Don't go anywhere, we'll be right back.
Welcome back to the English Podcast Classroom. So, Henry, we've talked about seasons, but the truth is, seasons look very different depending on where you are in the world.
Absolutely. Weather and climate vary dramatically from country to country, and even within the same country. Let's explore some of these differences.
First, let's clarify the difference between weather and climate. People sometimes confuse these two words. Henry, can you explain?
Sure. Weather is what's happening right now or in the short term. It's what you see when you look out your window, sunny, rainy, windy, etc. Climate is the average weather pattern in a place over a long period of time, usually 30 years or more.
So, for example, if it's raining today, that's the weather. But if a place typically gets a lot of rain every year, that's its climate.
Exactly. You might say the weather is terrible today, but the climate here is generally mild.
Great. Now, let's talk about different climates around the world. Let's start with tropical climates. These are areas near the equator where it's hot and humid all year round.
Right. Countries like Thailand, Brazil, Indonesia, and parts of Africa have tropical climates. In these places, there's not much difference between seasons. It's pretty much hot all the time.
And tropical areas often have a rainy season and a dry season instead of 4 distinct seasons like spring, summer, autumn, and winter.
Yes, during the rainy season, it can rain heavily every day, sometimes for hours. You might hear someone say, it's monsoon season, which refers to the period of very heavy rain in tropical areas.
I visited a tropical country once, and the rain was incredible. It would pour for an hour or two, then suddenly stop, and the sun would come out. Everything would dry up quickly.
That's typical of tropical rain. It's often very intense but short-lived. People who live in tropical climates are used to carrying an umbrella everywhere, just in case.
Now, let's talk about desert climates. These are areas where it's very dry and hot during the day, but can actually get quite cold at night.
Desert climates are found in places like parts of Australia, the Middle East, Northern Africa, and the southwestern United States. The key feature is very little rain, sometimes just a few inches per year.
When people think of deserts, they usually think of endless hot sand. And while it is extremely hot during the day, the temperature can drop dramatically at night.
That's right. You might hear someone say, it's scorching during the day, but freezing at night. The lack of clouds means the heat escapes quickly after sunset.
Moving on to Mediterranean climates. These areas have hot, dry summers and mild, wet winters. You find this climate around the Mediterranean Sea, of course, but also in California, parts of Australia, and South Africa.
Mediterranean climates are really pleasant. The weather is generally nice most of the year. Summers are warm and sunny, perfect for beach days. Winters are mild with some rain, but not too cold.
People in Mediterranean climates often talk about how lucky they are with the weather. You might hear someone say, "We have 300 days of sunshine a year."
They're not exaggerating. Mediterranean areas really do get a lot of sun. That's why they're popular tourist destinations.
Now, let's talk about temperate climates. This is what you find in much of the United States, most of Europe, parts of Asia, and New Zealand. These areas have 4 distinct seasons.
Yes, temperate climates are what most English speakers experience. You get warm summers, cool autumns, cold winters, and mild springs. The temperature range can be quite large throughout the year.
In temperate climates, people experience all types of weather. You need different clothes for different seasons, and you have to check the forecast regularly because weather can be unpredictable.
Exactly. Someone in a temperate climate might say, "We have real seasons here," or "You can experience all 4 seasons in one day." That last one is a bit of an exaggeration, but it shows how changeable the weather can be.
Let's talk about polar and Arctic climates. These are the areas near the North and South Poles where it's extremely cold most of the year.
Places like northern Canada, Alaska, Greenland, Iceland, and Antarctica have polar climates. Winters are long, dark, and brutally cold. Summers are short and cool.
In these areas, people deal with extreme conditions. You might hear someone say, "It's minus 30 degrees outside," or "We haven't seen the sun in weeks," because during winter, some areas experience polar night when the sun doesn't rise for days or even months.
On the flip side, during summer, there's the midnight sun. When the sun doesn't set, it stays light outside 24 hours a day.
That must be so strange. I can't imagine what it's like to have sunlight at midnight.
It definitely affects people's sleep patterns, but locals are used to it. They might use blackout curtains to sleep during the bright summer nights.
Okay, let's do a fun game. Henry, I'll name a country, and you tell me what the weather or climate is typically like there. Ready?
Ready.
United Kingdom.
The UK. The weather there is famous for being unpredictable and rainy. People often say, if you don't like the weather in Britain, wait 5 minutes. The climate is temperate and maritime, which means it's mild but often cloudy and wet. You don't get extreme temperatures. Summers aren't too hot and winters aren't too cold, but you do get a lot of rain throughout the year.
Perfect. Okay, next one. Australia.
Australia is huge, so the weather varies a lot. The northern part is tropical, hot and humid with a wet season and a dry season. The southern part has a more temperate climate with 4 seasons, but much milder than Europe or northern USA. And then there's the outback in the center, which is desert, hot, and very dry. People might say, "It's a scorcher today," or "I'm sweating buckets."
Great. How about Canada?
Canada is also huge with lots of variation, but overall Canada is known for cold winters with lots of snow and warm summers. In places like Toronto or Vancouver, you get 4 distinct seasons. But in northern Canada, it's much colder, Arctic conditions with very long, harsh winters. Canadians often joke about their winter weather, saying things like, "It's cold enough to freeze your nose off," or "Winter's coming, time to hibernate."
Canadians have a good sense of humor about their cold weather. Okay, last one. India.
India has several climate zones, but much of the country has a tropical climate with 3 main seasons: a hot season, a monsoon season, and a cool season. The monsoon season is particularly important. It's when most of the annual rain falls. People depend on the monsoons for water and farming. You might hear someone say, the monsoons are late this year, or monsoon season has arrived.
Excellent! You know your climates. Now, let's talk about how people discuss weather differences when they travel or move to a new place.
This is really common. When someone moves to a different country or visits a place with a very different climate, they often compare it to their home weather.
Right. Let me give you an example. Imagine someone from Canada visiting Thailand.
Wow, this heat is unbelievable. It's so much hotter than back home.
Really? How hot does it get in Canada?
In summer, maybe 25 or 30 degrees on a really hot day. But here it feels like it's over 35 degrees, and the humidity makes it feel even hotter.
Yes, the humidity takes some getting used to. You're not used to this kind of weather?
Not at all. Back home, we're more worried about staying warm than staying cool.
See that? They compared the two climates and talked about what's different. This is super natural when discussing weather with people from other places.
Another common topic is adapting to a new climate. When someone moves to a place with different weather, it takes time to adjust. You might hear someone say, I'm still getting used to the heat, or I can't get used to how much it rains here.
People also talk about what they miss about the weather back home. Someone might say, I miss the snow, or I really miss having 4 seasons, or I miss the sunshine from back home.
Let's do another dialogue. Imagine two expats, people living in a foreign country, talking about the weather.
Sounds good. Okay, I'll be expat 1. How are you finding the weather here?
Honestly, I'm struggling a bit. I moved here from Scotland, and I'm not used to this level of heat and humidity.
I can imagine. Where I'm from, it rains a lot, so I actually love how sunny it is here. But I understand it's an adjustment.
What do you miss most about the weather back home?
Probably the cool, crisp autumn days. There's something about autumn in my hometown that's just magical. What about you? Do you miss anything?
I miss the rain, believe it or not. I know that sounds weird, but there's something comforting about a rainy day in Scotland. Here, it's sunny all the time and I'm not complaining, but I do miss the variety.
That's interesting. I guess we always miss what we're used to.
Exactly. Great dialogue. Notice how they discuss their home weather, what they're adjusting to, and what they miss. These are all natural conversation topics.
When talking about weather in different places, it's also common to ask practical questions, like, what should I pack for the weather? Or when's the best time to visit? Or does it rain a lot there?
These are super helpful questions. If you're planning a trip, you need to know what weather to expect. Let me give you an example conversation.
I'm thinking about visiting Japan in April. What's the weather like then?
Oh, April is beautiful. That's cherry blossom season. The weather is mild, usually around 15 to 20 degrees. It's perfect weather for sightseeing.
Do I need to bring a heavy jacket?
No, just a light jacket or sweater for the evenings, and maybe an umbrella. There can be some spring rain.
Sounds perfect. I can't wait.
See how useful that is? When you're traveling, knowing what weather to expect helps you pack the right clothes and plan your activities.
Absolutely. And here's another thing. People love to exaggerate about their weather. It's a fun way to complain or brag about where you live.
So true. Someone from a hot place might say, it's so hot here you could fry an egg on the sidewalk. Someone from a cold place might say, it's so cold your spit freezes before it hits the ground.
Those are definitely exaggerations, but they're fun and colorful ways to describe extreme weather.
People also like to say their weather is unpredictable. You'll hear things like, the weather here is crazy, you never know what you're going to get. Or, we have a saying, if you don't like the weather, wait an hour.
I've heard that saying about so many different places. I think everyone thinks their weather is the most unpredictable.
Probably true. It's like everyone wants their weather to be special or unique in some way.
One more important point about weather around the world: natural disasters. Some places experience extreme weather events like hurricanes, typhoons,
tornadoes or floods.
That's a serious topic. In some parts of the world, certain weather events are regular occurrences. For example, hurricane season in the Caribbean and southeastern United States runs from June to November.
People in those areas have to prepare for hurricanes every year. You might hear someone say, "Hurricane season is starting, time to stock up on supplies," or "We have to board up the windows before the storm."
Other places deal with tornadoes, particularly in the central United States. People might talk about tornado warnings or taking shelter during severe weather.
And some countries experience monsoons, earthquakes followed by tsunamis, or severe flooding. These are important parts of the weather conversation in those regions.
When discussing extreme weather, people often talk about preparedness and safety. It's not just casual conversation. It's about protecting yourself and your community.
Absolutely. And when you're learning English, understanding these weather-related safety terms can be really important, especially if you're visiting or living in an area prone to extreme weather.
All right, so now you know how to talk about weather and climate differences around the world, how to compare your home weather with other places, and how to discuss extreme weather events.
Coming up next, we have one of my favorite sections, weather idioms and expressions. These are so much fun.
They really are. We'll teach you phrases like under the weather and every cloud has a silver lining. Stay tuned.
Okay, everyone, this is going to be fun. Weather idioms are expressions that use weather words, but they don't actually talk about the weather.
Exactly. These idioms are used all the time in everyday English, so learning them will really help you sound more natural and understand native speakers better.
Let's start with one of the most common ones, under the weather. Henry, what does this mean?
Under the weather means you're feeling sick or unwell. If someone says, "I'm feeling a bit under the weather," they mean they're not feeling great. Maybe they have a cold or a headache.
Right, it's a polite, gentle way to say you're sick. Let me give you an example. "Hey, Mia, are you coming to the meeting this afternoon?"
Actually, I'm feeling a bit under the weather. I think I'm going to head home early and rest.
"Oh no, I hope you feel better soon. Get some rest."
Thanks. I should be fine by tomorrow.
Perfect example. Notice how it sounds more gentle than saying, "I'm sick." It's just a nicer way to express it. Okay, next idiom. Every cloud has a silver lining. What does this mean?
This is a really beautiful idiom. It means that even in bad situations, there's something good or positive. The cloud represents something bad, and the silver lining is the good part hidden inside.
So if you lost your job, but then found an even better job, someone might say, "See, every cloud has a silver lining."
Exactly. It's about staying optimistic and finding the positive even when things seem negative.
Here's another one. Break the ice. This doesn't mean breaking actual ice.
No, it doesn't. Break the ice means to start a conversation or make people feel more comfortable in a social situation, especially when meeting new people.
For example, if you're at a party and you don't know anyone, you might tell a joke or make a friendly comment to break the ice.
Right. You could say, "I told a funny story to break the ice," or "Small talk about the weather is a good way to break the ice."
Hey, that's exactly what we talked about in the introduction. Talking about weather is a classic way to break the ice.
Full circle. Okay, here's a fun one. It's raining cats and dogs. We mentioned this earlier as a way to say it's raining heavily, but it's also an idiom.
Yes, nobody really knows where this expression comes from, but everyone uses it. If someone looks out the window and says, "Wow, it's raining cats and dogs out there," they mean it's pouring rain.
You definitely wouldn't use this in formal writing, but in casual conversation, it's perfect. And it always makes people smile because it's such a funny image.
Can you imagine if cats and dogs actually fell from the sky? That would be crazy.
And very messy. Okay, next one. Steal someone's thunder. This is interesting.
Steal someone's thunder means to take attention away from someone else, usually by doing or announcing something first. For example, if your sister was going to announce her engagement at dinner, but you announced yours first, you would be stealing her thunder.
It's usually considered rude to steal someone's thunder. It means you're taking their special moment away from them.
You might hear someone say, I don't want to steal your thunder, but... And then they share their own news. They're acknowledging that they might be taking attention away.
Good explanation. Here's another weather idiom. On cloud nine. What does this mean, Mia?
On cloud nine means you're extremely happy. If someone says, I'm on cloud nine, they're feeling fantastic. Maybe because something wonderful just happened.
For example, if you just got engaged, you might say, I'm on cloud nine. Or if you got your dream job, I've been on cloud nine ever since I got the offer.
It's such a lovely expression. The image of being so happy you're floating on a cloud is just perfect.
Let's do a quick dialogue using some of these idioms.
Great idea. Hey, you look happy. What's going on?
I'm on cloud nine. I just found out I got accepted to my top choice university.
That's amazing. Congratulations. I knew you'd get in.
Thanks. I was so worried, but I guess every cloud has a silver lining. I didn't get into my second choice, which made me work even harder on this application.
Well, I'm thrilled for you. We should celebrate.
Definitely. Let's plan something for this weekend, as long as the weather's nice.
Great dialogue. We used on cloud nine and every cloud has a silver lining naturally in conversation.
Okay, here's another common one. A storm in a teacup. This is more common in British English, but Americans sometimes say a tempest in a teapot, which means the same thing.
This idiom means a lot of fuss or worry about something that's not really important. It's like making a small problem seem much bigger than it really is.
For example, if two coworkers have a tiny disagreement and everyone in the office is gossiping about it, you might say, it's just a storm in a teacup. They'll be fine by tomorrow.
It's about keeping perspective and not overreacting to minor issues.
Here's a good one. Come rain or shine. What does this mean?
Come rain or shine means no matter what happens or in all conditions. It shows commitment or reliability. For example, I'll be there to support you, come rain or shine.
Or you could say the farmer's market is open every Saturday, come rain or shine, which means it's always open regardless of the weather.
It's similar to rain or shine, which we mentioned earlier. Both show that nothing will change your plans or commitment.
Let's talk about weather the storm. This is a useful idiom.
Weather the storm means to survive a difficult situation or tough period. If you weather the storm, you make it through challenging times.
For example, if a business is struggling financially but manages to survive, you could say they weathered the storm and came out stronger.
Or if someone goes through a difficult breakup but eventually feels better, they weathered the storm.
It's about resilience and getting through hard times. And notice that weather here is used as a verb, not a noun.
Good point. Here's another one. Throw caution to the wind. This means to take a risk or do something without worrying about the consequences.
Right. If you throw caution to the wind, you're being spontaneous and brave. For example, I decided to throw caution to the wind and quit my boring job to travel the world.
It implies doing something a bit risky or impulsive, but usually in a positive, adventurous way.
How about feel like $1,000,000? Wait, that's not a weather idiom.
No, it's not. Stay focused, Henry.
Sorry. Okay, here's a real weather idiom. Get wind of something. This means to hear about something, usually information or news that wasn't meant to be shared.
For example, I got wind of the company's plans to restructure. Means you heard about it, maybe through gossip or unofficial channels.
Or don't let the boss get wind of our plans to leave early means don't let the boss find out.
It implies the information was supposed to be secret or private. It's like the wind carried the news to you.
Here's one more. A breath of fresh air. This idiom describes someone or something that's refreshing, new, and pleasant.
Yes, if you say, she's a breath of fresh air, you mean she's different in a good way. Maybe she's positive, energetic, or brings new ideas.
You can also use it for things, not just people. This new approach is a breath of fresh air, means it's a welcome change from the old way of doing things.
It's always a compliment. Everyone wants to be described as a breath of fresh air.
Let's do one more dialogue using several weather idioms.
Okay. Acting as friend one. I heard about your business difficulties last year. How are things now?
Much better. We really had to weather the storm, but we made it through. There were times I wanted to give up.
I'm glad you didn't. What kept you going?
Honestly, I just decided to throw caution to the wind and try some new marketing strategies. And it worked. Our new intern has been a real breath of fresh air, too. She's brought so many creative ideas.
That's wonderful. See, every cloud has a silver lining.
You're absolutely right. I learned so much from that difficult period.
Excellent. We used 4 different weather idioms in one natural conversation.
These idioms really do make your English sound more natural and fluent. Native speakers use them all the time without even thinking about it.
The key is to learn them gradually. Don't try to memorize all of them at once. Just start using 1 or 2 in your conversations and slowly add more as you feel comfortable.
Great advice. And remember, idioms are usually informal. They're perfect for casual conversations with friends, but you might want to avoid them in very formal writing or presentations.
Although, some idioms, like weather the storm or every cloud has a silver lining, can work in more formal contexts too.
True, it depends on the situation and your audience.
One more quick tip. If someone uses an idiom you don't understand, it's totally okay to ask. You can say, sorry, what does that mean? Or, I haven't heard that expression before.
Absolutely. Most people are happy to explain. It shows you're interested in learning.
All right, so now you've learned some of the most common weather idioms in English. Practice using them and you'll sound more natural in no time.
Coming up next, we're going to talk about something really interesting, how weather affects our emotions and moods.
This is going to be fascinating. Stay with us.
Welcome back. So, Mia, have you ever noticed how the weather can affect your mood?
Oh, absolutely. On sunny days, I feel so much more energetic and happy. But on gray, rainy days, I just want to stay in bed.
You're not alone. There's actually a strong connection between weather and our emotions. Scientists have studied this, and many people report feeling different depending on the weather.
It's true. Let's talk about sunny weather first. How does sunshine affect people?
Sunshine generally makes people feel happier, more energetic, and more optimistic. There's something about bright and sunny days that lifts our spirits. People are more likely to smile, be social, and feel motivated.
That's because sunlight helps our bodies produce vitamin D and serotonin, chemicals that affect our mood. You might hear someone say, the sunshine just puts me in a good mood, or I feel so much better when the sun is out.
And on sunny days, people want to be outside. They go for walks, meet friends for coffee, outdoors, or just sit in a park. The sunshine seems to bring people together.
Now, let's talk about rainy weather. For many people, rain has the opposite effect. It can make people feel tired, lazy, or even sad.
Right. You might hear someone say, this rain is so depressing, or rainy days make me want to hibernate. The lack of sunshine and the gray skies can really affect our energy levels.
But here's the interesting thing. Not everyone feels this way. Some people actually love rainy days. They find them cozy and peaceful.
That's true. Some people say, I love rainy days. They're perfect for staying home and reading a book. Or there's something so relaxing about the sound of rain.
It's all about perspective. For some people, rainy days are a good excuse to slow down and relax.
Let's talk about something called seasonal affective disorder, or SAD. This is a type of depression that some people experience during certain seasons, usually winter.
Yes, SAD is a real medical condition. During winter, when the days are shorter and there's less sunlight, Some people feel very down, tired, and unmotivated.
People with sad might say, I hate winter. It makes me feel so depressed. Or I can't wait for spring. I need some sunshine. It's more than just preferring warm weather. It's a genuine change in mood and energy.
The good news is that sad can be treated. People use special light therapy lamps, spend more time outdoors during daylight hours, and sometimes take medication or see a therapist.
And it really shows how powerful the connection between weather and emotions can be.
Let's talk about how people discuss these feelings in everyday conversation. You might hear phrases like, the weather's getting me down, which means the weather is making you feel sad or low.
I need some sunshine when you're tired of gray, cloudy weather.
This heat is making me cranky. When hot weather is affecting your mood negatively.
I love this weather. It puts me in such a good mood, expressing how nice weather makes you happy.
Let's do a short dialogue about weather and mood.
Sounds good. You seem a bit down today. Everything okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. I think it's just this weather. We've had 3 weeks of rain and I'm so over it.
I know what you mean. I've been feeling kind of blah, too. We need some sunshine.
Exactly. I checked the forecast and it's supposed to be sunny this weekend. I'm planning to spend as much time outside as possible.
Good idea. I might join you. A little sunshine will do us both good.
Perfect. Notice how they acknowledged that the weather was affecting their mood. This is a very common conversation.
People often blame the weather for how they're feeling. It's a way to express emotions and connect with others who feel the same way.
There's also the opposite problem. When it's too hot, people can become irritable and uncomfortable. Heat affects mood too.
Right. You might hear someone say, this heat is unbearable, or I can't think straight in this heat. Extreme heat can make people tired, grumpy, and less productive.
And humidity makes it worse. When it's hot and humid, people complain even more. This humidity is killing me, or wow, Henry, we've covered so much today. I think our listeners have learned a ton about talking about weather in English.
Absolutely. Let's do a quick recap of everything we've discussed. We started with everyday weather conversations, the basic vocabulary and phrases you need to talk about sunny, rainy, cloudy, windy, and snowy weather.
We learned how to describe temperature from freezing cold to boiling hot, and we practiced natural dialogues that you might have with friends, family, or colleagues about the weather.
Then we moved on to talking about seasons. We discussed spring, summer, autumn or fall, and winter. We talked about what weather is typical in each season and what activities people enjoy.
We also learned how to express our preferences. Do you love summer sunshine or autumn leaves? Do you enjoy winter snow or spring flowers? These are great conversation topics that help you connect with others.
In Section 3, we explored weather around the world. We discussed different climates, tropical, desert, Mediterranean, temperate, and polar. We learned that weather varies dramatically depending on where you live.
And we talked about how to compare weather in different places, especially when you're traveling or moving to a new country. Understanding climate differences helps you prepare and adapt.
Then we had so much fun with weather idioms. We learned expressions like under the weather, every cloud has a silver lining, break the ice, and weather the storm. These idioms make your English sound more natural and fluent.
Remember, idioms are used all the time in casual conversation. Start using 1 or 2 and gradually add more to your vocabulary. Before you know it, you'll be using them without even thinking.
And finally, we discussed how weather affects our emotions and moods. Sunshine can make us happy and energetic, while rain might make us feel cozy or sleepy. Weather has a real impact on how we feel.
We also talked about seasonal affective disorder and how some people struggle with their mood during dark winter months. It's important to recognize this connection and take care of our mental health.
So,
what should you do now with all this knowledge?
Practice, practice, practice. Start by simply observing the weather each day and describing it in English. Is it sunny, cloudy, warm, cool? Just practice saying these words out loud.
Great idea. You can also check the weather forecast in English. Most weather apps and websites are available in English, so use them to practice reading weather vocabulary.
Another tip is when you're watching English movies or TV shows, pay attention to how characters talk about the weather. Notice the phrases they use and how weather comes up in their conversations.
And don't be afraid to start conversations about the weather. Remember, it's one of the easiest and most common topics. Use it to break the ice with new people.
You could say something simple like, "Nice weather today, isn't it?" Or, "Can you believe this rain?" These little comments can lead to longer conversations.
Also, try keeping a weather journal in English. Each day, write a sentence or two about the weather. For example, today was sunny and warm. I went for a walk in the park.
This helps you practice writing and thinking in English.
That's a wonderful idea. You could even include how the weather made you feel. The sunshine today put me in a great mood, or the rain made me want to stay home and read.
And remember, it's okay to make mistakes. Everyone learning a language makes mistakes. The important thing is to keep practicing and trying.
Absolutely. Native English speakers will appreciate your effort to learn their language, and talking about weather is such a friendly, non-threatening topic that people will be happy to chat with you.
One more thing, if you want to sound even more natural, try learning weather vocabulary that's specific to where you live or where you're learning English. Every region has its own weather patterns and ways of describing them.
That's so true. Someone in California might talk about June gloom, cloudy mornings in early summer. Someone in the UK might mention drizzle all the time. Regional differences make language colorful and interesting.
Before we say goodbye, let's remember why learning to talk about weather is so valuable. It's not just about the vocabulary. It's about connecting with people.
Yes, weather is something we all experience together. It's a shared topic that brings people together, whether you're waiting for a bus, meeting a neighbor, or sitting next to someone on a plane.
When you can talk naturally about the weather, you show that you understand an important part of English-speaking culture. You can participate in those everyday moments that make up daily life.
And honestly, once you master weather conversations, you'll feel so much more confident in your English overall. It's a building block for all kinds of conversations.
So to all our listeners out there, thank you so much for joining us today. We hope you learned a lot and that you're feeling excited to practice talking about the weather in English.
Remember, we're here to help you on your English learning journey. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe to the English Podcast Classroom on YouTube. We have so many more topics coming up.
And leave us a comment. Tell us what the weather is like where you are right now. Tell us your favorite season. Or share a weather idiom from your language. We'd love to hear from you.
Also, if you have suggestions for future episodes, let us know. What topics would you like us to cover? What aspects of English are you struggling with? We're here to help.
Before we go, let me just look outside. The sun is finally coming out. After all that rain this morning, we're getting some sunshine.
See, the weather is always changing, just like language learning. Some days are easier than others, but if you keep at it, you'll see the sunshine.
That's a perfect metaphor, Mike. Keep practicing, stay positive, and remember that every cloud has a silver lining.
There you go, using our weather idioms right till the end.
Of course. All right, everyone. Whatever the weather is like where you are, we hope you have a wonderful day.
Stay curious, keep learning, and we'll see you next time on the English Podcast Classroom.
Goodbye, everyone.
Bye.
Come rain or shine, we'll be here for you.
Happy learning.